In this video, we're going to be changing some things to the Ram that are very much needed. Look at the front of this truck, guys. The front of this truck sits really nice. It like sits comfortably low, you know what I mean? Like it's not low, it's not slammed, it's not tucking, nothing like that. But the rear, it just sits so goddamn high for no reason whatsoever. I'm not sure why the back of this truck is lifted up so high. We're going to even this out as much as we can. We're also gonna get rid of these crusty, dusty tail lights because look at that, they're all scratched. The passenger side one is no different, they're all scratched. This one's cracked. I ended up getting these LED tail lights from eBay. They already come LED plug and play. I'm not sure if they have resistors. I guess we'll find out. We'll figure it out. Hopefully they do because I don't want that like hyper flash or whatever. These were pretty cheap too. These were $90. I'm gonna put a little screenshot of the ones that I bought so you guys know to buy them or whether not to buy them, depending on if they're nice or not. I'm probably gonna record this video throughout the span of like 3 or 4 days. The first thing that I'm doing today is just taking off the tail lights, putting the new ones on, testing them out. And I'm gonna see if I'm able to take off this tow hitch receiver. And to take off these tail lights, it should be really easy. Looks like it's just 2 little screws. And we're using a T25 right here. Just like that, the old tail light is out. Look at this, it's all scratched, super cracked, can't really see much. Also, this electrical connection thing, like, you know, the little thing that pops in there is broken. Kind of sucks when you see things like this on a truck, you know, especially something that's yours already. I know the previous owner be watching my videos, bro. It's not your fault, bro. It's not your fault. I'm gonna give this a little wipe down right here, just so it doesn't build up rust. Because you see, it's already starting to build up rust right here. Quick little, you know what I'm saying? While I wait for that little spot to dry, I'm gonna pull out this tail light. Hold out this other one. I'm gonna do the same thing. Look at this one. This one's worse because I hit the garage. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this one's all scratched up, cracked, everything, bruh. It's all bad. Is this what rust looks like when it's starting to form up? Because if it is, I'm gonna knock it down. Either way, I don't like how that looks. I don't like the thought of this rusting out, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna knock that down also. Okay, that's not what I want to do. I accidentally broke this, I guess. I broke the electrical connection just because on this thing, I was trying to just knock out these little grooves that were at the end of it. Ended up just breaking it off. Do the satisfying peel. Look at that. These are this one right here. Already looks 10 times better. Look at that, bro. God damn. Hopefully these things work. I'm about to test it out right quick. Alright guys, definitely think they're not working because I have the hazards on. You guys see the hazards are on. Hazards are on and I have a lamp out light. So I definitely think that these are no good. I don't know what it is. They're just not working, guys. Let me show you guys something, right? I know you guys are looking at this and you guys are like, wait, ain't you just take these off? The answer is no, because I did a little bit of work off camera. And let me show you guys right quick. You guys remember I had the lamp out coat? That thing is gone, bro. You know what I mean? So when I went to go take off the driver's side tail light, what ended up happening, I noticed that it unplugged really, really easy. So then I just pushed it back in, and then I saw that it plugged in really nice. Let me show you guys the footage of after I plugged it in, like fully, completely. So after that, I looked at the passenger side, and the same thing happened to the passenger side. It just wasn't seated completely well. What I ended up doing is I ended up pretty much just clamping it in, because that other light on the passenger side, like the little socket or whatever you want to call it, the insert, it didn't want to go in at all. I don't know what it is that I'm trying to say, and I also don't want to confuse you guys, but it's basically this part right here. You guys see this? It did not want to seat perfectly right here. I ended up using some of these. Do I know what they're called? Hell nah. But I had some, so I ended up using it, and I just like slowly pulled it in together, and it ended up sitting perfectly. And I'm pretty sure that worked. I'm gonna try it again in the nighttime, because in the nighttime you could obviously see like everything way better. But yeah, guys, I don't have no lamp out code, so these actually might end up working. Right quick, I just wanted to show you guys how the back tail lights look. Everything looks freaking smooth. Everything looks nice. It looks way newer. Can't really show you the reverse lights right now, but yeah, the reverse lights work great too. There's always something wrong with this channel, man. On this channel, I always run into things. I think it's just because I buy cheap stuff, bro. But let's get it popping. I'm gonna take a little lunch right quick. I know that sounds weird, but I'm gonna eat something right quick, because the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna pull off that tow hitch receiver. Before I eat, I'm gonna spray it with some PB Blast. The drop kit for the rear should be coming today, so let's hope that's true. Guys, I'm down here. Usually the tow hitch receivers, especially on like the Chevy, that thing goes all the way back. This one right here, look where it ends. It ends just right here. You know what I mean? It ends right here. This is the bolt that usually you struggle to take out, but there's nothing in the way of it. So definitely also need some new shocks, because look at those, man. Those are all crusty. I mean, they go back up, so that's the confusing thing. But I could tell you that this thing probably needs new shocks. All right, guys, it is the next day. We're gonna go ahead and throw on these drop shackles right here. I got them from Amazon. These look a lot similar to lift shackles, so that kind of concerns me. As you see, I have the grease bolt on. The issue that we have though is I was putting the grease bolt on this, ended up stripping it, so we're gonna have to get a self-tapping grease bolt. But for now, we should be good. But yeah, this one is pretty cool. Came with all new bolts and everything. Like I said, it doesn't look too hard to change out, so I'll update you as I go. Also, guys, I forgot to measure before I jacked everything up. All right, guys, so we're to the part of the job to where we're struggling right now. Right now, the issue that we got is that on the bottom shackle bolt, it's held on the other end with a hex bit. I didn't have any hex bits, but I saw online that you can use an Allen head, and I did have an Allen head, but I ended up stripping it. So I also only have one ratchet. I only have one 3/8 ratchet. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna run to Harbor Freight. We're gonna hope that they have hex bits. We might even actually have to buy some 6-ton jacks, just because of the fact that when I was putting the jack stand, I had to put the jack stand on the frame, and my 3-ton jack stands weren't able to hold up that part of the frame. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't able to extend to that part of the frame. So I just held it onto the axle, which is low-key giving us some issues, because the leaf spring has like full tension on it, if that makes sense. You know, like, I'm not able to move around the leaf spring just because it's under full tension, and I low-key need to move around the leaf spring because I got the driver's side out. It's just the shackle is stuck because the leaf spring will not move whatsoever, and I almost just crashed. That's insane. But yeah, the leaf spring doesn't have any movement at all. Like, it's stiff right now. It's stiff because it's being like mounted up. Like, that's what's being used to being held up. So I'm debating on buying some 6-ton jacks. Even then, you know, like 6-ton jacks, I would feel way safer with the 6-ton jack compared to a 3-ton, because my vehicle's 4 tons. Granted, one jack stand isn't holding up the entire 4 tons. It's like, you know, being distributed. But yeah, let's get it popping, guys. I'm on my way to Harbor Freight right now. I'm trying to get there and back before 2:30, just because of the fact that I have work at 5. But this job is a lot easier than I thought. It's just we ran into a small issue. It's honestly not that big of a deal. Also, driving around in this Equinox, my mom's Equinox, it makes me feel like less of a man. You know what I mean? The reason why I didn't bring my Chevy is because it's having a starter issue. So I'm gonna have to replace it. Like, it'll start up and everything. I'm just scared that if I go somewhere then the starter will like fully give out, you know what I mean? And then I won't be able to drive anymore. Clean MBS. Sorry, double MBS. Probably the quickest Harbor Freight trip of all time. Never in my life have I ever been in and out of a Harbor Freight quicker. I left the house at 1:38 or 48. I think it's 1:38. It takes me like 10 minutes to drive to Harbor Freight. And on top of that, it's currently 2:04. So you do the math. I spent like 5 minutes in that store. I love my friends. I love my homies and everything. I didn't come with them this time though, because they're working. And they've been wanting to come though, but I was like, you know what? I just gotta come real quick. I gotta come before the jacks are gone. And luckily for me, I've been debating on getting those 6-ton jacks, and they're 35% off. So I was like, okay, let me get them. I got them for like $50 basically. I just realized I'm talking and the wind is just blowing in here, so I apologize if you heard absolutely nothing. Also not my problem. It's your fault for clicking on this video. But yeah, we're on the way home right now. We're about 5 minutes away. I will update you guys once I get this shackle off. All right. Oh, Arsenal scored. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Arsenal scored. I don't care about the rest right now. Basically, we got everything we need. We got the 3/8 ratchet, and then we got this star bits too. And also we have the new jack stands right here. As you guys can tell, I love the color green. All right, guys, we have been struggling for no good reason. It's not difficult. It's just hard to get things out. You know what I mean? But these are the old ones, and then these are the new ones right here. I know a lot of Chevy guys, including me, we're looking at this like, what the heck? How the heck is this shackle supposed to lower it if it's shorter? Like, that usually lifts it, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I guess that's how it works on Dodge, but we're gonna try it out. We're gonna bolt these up. I'm gonna put these on the driver's side since these have the strip screw. Sorry, I'm all out of breath and stuff. And this I'm gonna put on the passenger side. Guys, I do not. The most Looney Tune ever just happened. I was just chilling. I was taking off the leaf spring. I was trying to get the new leaf spring in because I got the old ones out. You know what I mean? I was trying to get the new one in, and I was prying on this part of the frame that had a little notch on it just so I could have enough clearance to push in the leaf spring shackle. And it slipped out of the notch. And you know, I like turned my head like this, and then I smacked it out of myself right here, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure you... Oh my God, look at that, bro. Yeah, so I swear to God, I think I knocked myself out, bro. I think I knocked myself out because I like just laid there for a little bit and I closed my eyes and everything. I don't know whether if that means if I'm weak as hell or strong as hell, bro. Let me know though. I'm low-key gonna wrap it up for today because I'm taking way too long. Tomorrow I will definitely have way more time. It's just taking too long. I already hit myself. I gotta think of alternative ways because I low-key think I could take off the tire, and then by taking off the tire I'll be able to lower it a little bit more so I could just slap it on. But it's just taking too much time. I have clients in like an hour and a half, and I haven't ate, so I want to, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm big, but I look in when I munch on something. So yeah, I'll continue this video tomorrow, guys. Probably wearing the same clothes, not gonna lie, but yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, we're back. It's day 2 of us doing this job. We're on the literal last part of finishing up this job. I could have low-key finished it yesterday, but bro, after I hit my head, I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. I had to go inside. I had to chill for a little bit, you know what I mean? So my issue was I couldn't get the shackle on because there was not enough spacing because my tire was bottoming out. So what I ended up doing is I ended up taking it off. So after taking off the tire, I'm gonna lower it as much as I can just so I can get that red shackle on. And then I'm gonna attach it to the leaf spring afterwards, all right? And everything should be a lot easier now. Let's hope everything goes good because we're on the literal last part of the job. After that, it's quite literally just putting the tires back on, putting the truck back down, and then letting the suspension settle. And that's also the other thing I wanted to say is I've seen people install lowering shackles and they're like, oh, it doesn't even look that much lower. One guy, I saw his video. I will link it down below because there's only 2 videos on how to install these lowering shackles on the Ram. And I know I'm not helping to it because I haven't even recorded anything. One guy, he has a dark gray Ram single cab and he installed lowering shackles and it looks really good. But he said that it's still going to go lower because it needs time to settle. So you got to give your truck time to settle after you install the shackles. All right, guys, my theory was basically true. You guys see how low the axle's sitting right now? Now we definitely have more than enough space to install the shackle right here. And then when we're done installing the shackle right here, we're just gonna lift up the diff, and then we're gonna pull the diff. We're gonna lift up the diff. The diff will pull the leaf spring closer. That way we can mount on the leaf spring. So it should be a lot easier today, guys. Also, it's not only supported by that jack. I have to remind you guys, it's also supported by being chalked off in the front. And then I have jacks right here on the frame. All right, guys, we got the top end of these shackles on both sides. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lift the jack from this diff right here, just enough to where they're meeting exactly perfectly. And then I'm gonna throw the tires back on and then lower it, and then we should be good right there. All right, guys, we got the driver's side on. As you can see, it's on there pretty well. Now it's just time to mount on the passenger side. Let's go. All right, guys, we have successfully put both of the shackles back on. Now it's just time to throw on the tires and then take off those, what are those called? Jack stands. All right, guys, I just went to go take the truck to wash. We're gonna measure the back compared to the front right after we installed the suspension, you know what I mean? Place it on there, and yeah, this is for adjust it, and now it says 7. Yeah, 7. Okay, I have it right here on the side of the alley. You could definitely see that it's lower, so I don't know why I still measured out to 7. Like I said, maybe I'm measuring wrong or something, but you could definitely already tell that I at least lowered 1 inch. And if I go like this, it looks even more even, so it looks pretty good so far. We're gonna give it a week, and then I'm gonna update you guys right before I upload this video, because I'm recording it a week in advance. And then after that, in the following video, I will obviously update you guys on how it fully settled, because like I said, it takes 1,000 miles, if not a month, according to my calculations. I'm also probably gonna park it forward, you know what I mean? I'm park it forward in the driveway, just so it could settle even faster, because I feel like it being parked isn't helping it settle, you know what I mean? So what's going on, guys? It's like 8 a.m. on a Saturday right now. Wanted to give you guys a little midweek update. Also, I decided that I'm gonna be throwing on the headlights. Like I said, these are the new housings. I was gonna wait so I could color match the front end, but low-key, I found this color match truck in Colorado at a junkyard, and the junkyard was taxed, and they wanted like $500 for everything. So I was like, that, bro, I'm cool. I'm gonna just wait. So I was like, you know what? I'll just throw these on, and then I'll color match everything later on with the truck. Either way, since we're just reverse leveling, I think it would look pretty cool if I kept most of the things stock. All right, guys. Look at that. We're sitting at 6 inches right now, so I already lowered it like 1 inch. The shackles already lowered the rear about 1 inch. I do want it to sit a little bit lower, so we ended up buying these leaf spring clamps. I saw this guy on TikTok install them on his Chevy. They ended up lowering the truck about 3/4 of an inch. I also looked it up on ChatGPT, not gonna lie. I've been using ChatGPT a lot, but it also said it would lower it 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna throw these on today. I'm gonna throw the headlights on, and then I'm gonna do a project on the Chevy, and then we'll be all done. That's why I started early. Guys, we got one side on. You can see the leaf spring is pretty much basically very compressed. Just to see not everything goes as planned. I was installing the other side of the leaf spring clamp, and then it was not wanting to thread on at all, so I had to cut it off. This side was just biting and biting and biting, you know, so it didn't want to go through whatsoever. I'm gonna post a screenshot of these leaf spring clamps just so you guys do not buy these, because these are no good. For now, we're just gonna run the rear one, and then I'll probably just buy a 2-pack and then run these right here. Look, I had to cut, ow, it's fucking hot. I had to cut the bolt off, and just like that, I installed this side without taking off the tire. I don't know why people always take the tire off, but yeah, we got it installed on this side. Yeah, guys, this sits way better now. I'm so happy with this. It sits way better now. There is just gonna be like a 1 inch difference, that being the back being 1 inch taller than the front. All right, fellas, this is what the new headlights look like in the nighttime. Looks absolutely motherfucking mean, bro. God damn, look at that. Wow, that looks really nice. That's what the turn signal on. So yeah, it looks really, really nice. And look at that. Look at how bright the rear LEDs are. All right, fellas, it's only Monday, so we're still waiting on the suspension to settle for at least a week. But I just wanted to put the truck in reverse so I could show you guys how the new headlights look during the daytime, during the sunlight. It's direct sunlight on it right now. And also rained the other day, so that's why the trucks are all dirty. Actually rained just last night. But yeah, not the biggest fan of these headlights, to be honest. Like, the way they looks great, you know, but there's a lot of play in them. There's a lot of gaps in them. This passenger side light did not want to sit all the way. Like, you see, there's a lot of play right there. I'm gonna eventually get new ones, but for now they look good. Everything looks better in the nighttime too. And then I also wanted to do a height comparison with the back of the truck of the Chevy. Look at that, guys. Look at that. You can see over this truck bed now. Before I installed the shackle, this truck bed was higher than the Chevys, and now you can see it's significantly lower than the Chevys. You know, you can see right over it. It's kind of hard to tell, but I mean, look at the wood in the back. You can see that it's like basically flush where that little wood opening is, and this one goes over that little wood opening. So yeah. All right, guys, here we have the truck after we have everything installed. I have it in the middle of my alley just because I want you guys to see how it sits on, like, you know, flat grounds and stuff. Yeah, guys, look at that angle right there. Look at this angle back here, guys. Yeah, you guys can see it's pretty much sitting level now. If you guys remember properly, the back wheel got measured out to 7 inches. So let's measure that guy out right quick. Right there. Let me straighten out the thing. Sitting at about 5 3/4, 5.5, roughly. So yeah, this is how it sits basically a week after it's settling. Obviously we're on slanted grounds, so it's gonna make a little bit of a difference, but it sits really, really nice. I'm very happy with how it looks. It's definitely not low by any means, you know what I mean? It's just a reverse level. It also looks way better with the new headlights. Look at that. This guy's just so happy with those nice little headlights. Overall, I could say that I'm very much satisfied with the result of how it all came out. And to be honest with you guys, we didn't really even struggle like that to put on these shackles. The clamps are sitting down very, very nicely, doing their job. And it helped to get that extra, what, 1/4 inch that we low-key did need. I'm going to put a screenshot of the shackles that I had purchased, just so if you guys want to do the same thing to your Ram, you could purchase the shackles. Because I'm telling you, man, these Rams, they're just begging you to reverse lower them. You know, that wheel gap right there is perfect. That wheel gap right there, I would want it to be a little bit less, but also like it matches with the body line, you know. It definitely does not look higher at all from the back than the front. It looks perfectly level. These headlights, I would say just go out and get better ones because, you know, like I said, there's gaps in them. I was definitely a fan of these taillights, even though these also have gaps, but yeah, I'm just happy with how this truck came out in the past couple of weeks. I'm gonna go now because I gotta go to my little brother's baseball game. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you guys, and peace out.